Hello and welcome back to another Kids Talk Sports video. Today, me and Abe will be going over the Michigan versus Maryland college basketball game. It's the Big Ten tournament. Michigan had to buy the first game or whatever. So they won. Good news. We probably wouldn't be making a video otherwise. But I couldn't watch it because I was in school, but Abe was able to watch most of it. Um, so well, I mean, I from stats, it looks like Mike Smith carried. He had 18 points. Eli Brooks is back, 16 points. He was 4 for 8 from three. Franz Wagner also 16 points. And I'm just gonna address this right now, just from stats. Isaiah Livers had 0 points, and he's been off the last couple of games. He had 7 against Illinois, 9 against Michigan State, 9 against Michigan State, and 0 this game. And he played. So me and Elbe were just noticing that. So he must be injured or like something's going on. But Elbe, you can talk about the game as a whole now.
Yeah. So So last game, I was actually super pissed. At the end of the game, and also I was talking to Will over my messages about this. He was saying that it doesn't really matter. It does matter. First of all, you need to have a good streak riding into the tournament. Um, and it says that it's like then they lose, and literally they almost came back. And I don't think you watched that one either. I don't know where you were, but then literally Wagner's on fire. Like he was coming, he just came out of a slump, and then he just like starts going shooting. We were coming back, and Livers takes 2 shots, misses both. You're supposed to give it to the guy who's on fire. I don't know if it's like he doesn't seem like himself. He usually makes that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then again, moving into this game, like I said just now, you have to have a streak going into the tournament so you can carry that momentum, which is what we did the last the 2 times that we won it when John Beeline was here. We had a streak going into the tournament, which really helps, and we actually took that on into the NCAA tournament, which helps. So then they actually come out, and they came out really well. They scored a lot, and and then we ended the half on a 16 or 18-2 run. And that was really big. That going into halftime again, this is like another, I guess, streak, because you're entering halftime on fire. And then in the second half, Wagner gets it, and also I think Mike Smith in the first half had like 10 assists and no turnovers. Like
Yeah, that's
he was
another thing.
balling.
He had 15 assists,
Mhm.
which is insane. And I'm pretty sure he's leading the Big Ten in assists. But yeah, it just shows he's one of those people that he can score if he needs to, like this game, and he can also get a bunch of assists, which he does consistently. So yeah, anyways, keep going. But 15 assists.
Um, and then the main thing is like in that second half, we clamped down on defense. I think that was the main thing. At first, I'm like, like at the beginning, I'm like, we just gonna score a lot. It's gonna be like the Ohio State game, just score, 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 score. We clamped down in the second half, and that was really impressive because they were scoring with the I forgot his name, the Ayala dude and the Wiggins, right?
Yeah.
And the Morcell, Daryl Morcell, actually, he won Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. He was guarding Wagner and Mike Smith. Both crushed him, like literally, like 18 and 16, and then 15 assists. Like, and another thing I like to add before the first step, and he got into foul trouble. Like he had like 2 fouls, and so did Dickinson. So that's why you only see like Dickinson only had 6 points and 5 rebounds. So like I think everything usually revolves around Dickinson. So when you this is why it's an impressive win, because he only has 6 points. So you have to look at all the other people around you. And this is I should say this all the time. Anybody can hit you. Literally. You don't know what's gonna happen. Look, Livers had 0 points. We still won by 13. And Dickinson only had 6. it still didn't matter. Like even Johns had 7 points coming off the bench. Chandy
Yeah.
Brown, like I've said, he always has to get to a good start so he can get that confidence up and make those shots. He did this time, and he had 10 points.
Yeah.
Eli Brooks, he came off that injury from the Michigan State game. He had an ankle injury. He came back, scored 16 points. Like this, you don't know who's going to hit you, and
Yeah.
that's the dangerous thing about this team.
And Austin
And-
Davis also was 2 for 2. I'm guessing he had free throws or something.
Mhm.
And he had 8 rebounds, 4 offensive. That's extremely helpful for the offense.
Yeah, and then it's but honestly, if the whole team's on a groove, I feel like nobody can beat us. Especially like in the Big Ten tournament, I feel like nobody can beat it. Like if Livers is on, like everybody is scoring, kind of like what we did versus Ohio State, but defensive wise, like if
Mhm.
we add a defense to that, nobody's beating us. I'm like the only team that can beat us is Maryland. Not Maryland, Illinois, because they already crushed us. So, but we don't like to talk about that, right? So, as for like the next game,
Okay, wait, one more thing. You probably watched this, but my dad told me about it. Juwan Howard,
got
I'm
ejected.
pretty sure went nuts and he was ejected from the game. What
Mhm.
happened there?
I think what happened was, at least from the video, because it happened during commercial break and they showed it later, but it looked like the coaches were jawing. They were like
Yeah.
trash talking. And that, that actually, I was happy he did that. You know why? Because you're standing up for your players. It shows and also I want to give a lot of credit. Speaking of that, but let me finish on Juwan Howard. It looked like they were talking back on each other, and they actually like 3 assistant coaches had to hold back Juwan Howard. Juwan Howard, a big dude, so you
Yeah.
hope he doesn't do that again. Like I hope he doesn't get fined, because he doesn't deserve to get fined and whatnot. But I just I'm happy he did that, and because it's like he was standing up for his play. I think the players were jawing, and then Juwan Howard started jawing at the players of Maryland, and then the Maryland coach started jawing at Juwan, and
Yeah.
I think Juwan Howard got ejected, so double technical. But the Maryland coach only got 1. I don't understand how that works, but whatever. We still won, and that's where I like to give a lot of credit to Phil Martelli, who's the assistant coach. He came from St. John's University, and he's actually a lot of people thought that St. John's made a mistake in not re-signing him as a head coach. So then he came to Michigan, and he had to step up big after that. Juwan Howard ejected, and honestly, if after that happened, you think there'd be like a lot of momentum for the other team, because now your head coach, the other team's head coach is gone. That's usually what happens. But Phil Martelli, he's actually a former head. Like I said, he's the former head coach. So
Yeah, and honestly, you could say, I mean, there's a chance Juwan Howard's more of like a pump up kind of guy, and he can direct
like a
them on
player
the floor,
motivator.
but Martelli could be the one making all the plays. So he's, like you said, he already was a head coach, and I'm pretty sure he has like the most wins in college or something.
And St. John's, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was a really good move, and as you can see, our record 20-3. But another thing, this is probably what kills me the most right now, is I just want to say Illinois is ranked higher than Michigan. So the reason that really is annoying is we have 3 less losses. We beat someone that beat them, so that makes up for us losing to them. They also lost to Mizzou, who's not even ranked now. They lost to Rutgers. Didn't we beat Rutgers?
Yeah, we beat Rutgers.
Yeah, okay, so we beat Rutgers. They lost to Maryland. We just beat Maryland. They lost to Ohio State. We already beat Ohio State. And then they lost to Michigan State. We also lost to Michigan State once. So that it's just stupid how they would be ranked ahead of us, but that'll just motivate us probably, hopefully, if we meet them in the Big Ten tournament. But hopefully they lose, because I really don't like Illinois. But
yeah. So one thing I have to say is the first thing is they play more games than us, so they have more potential to lose. That's the first thing. And the second thing is they did crush us in our own stadium. So they deserve that. And also you look at, I mean, the Big Ten is in general, it's like a very tough division.
Okay, but they played 3 more games than us.
Yeah.
And then but that doesn't, I don't think if we played Mizzou or like we played most of the teams that they lost to, but we won. That's what annoys me. Just don't I don't agree with them being ahead, even though they beat us.
Yeah, but like if you really like if okay, they first of all, they played more games than us, so they had more potential to lose, like I said. But if you look at like the end of the season, they beat Nebraska. Nebraska's like the worst team in Big Ten. I don't even think they're in the tournament anymore. And they beat Wisconsin. They were ranked at the time. Then they crushed us, which was really big. I think that just pushed them over. Because we were really number 2, and then they crushed us by 23 points.
Mhm.
So that helps. And then they beat Ohio State too. So like they beat like 2 really good teams. And then they were able to grab number 3 spot. And I think honestly we would have been number 3, except the fact that we lost to Michigan State. So we lost twice. So
Yeah.
that's the reason, that they're 3 and we're 4, or maybe it would have been.
Yeah, but we also won the Big Ten. That's the other thing. So yeah, but
yeah,
anyway.
I get. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the last thing we'll do is a preview of the next game, which it's pretty much official now. There's 32 seconds left in the OT. Ohio State's up by 8, so I'm pretty sure that's who we're playing.
Mhm.
So for that game, real quick, we can just do a quick preview. We already played them once, but it was a huge offensive shootout. So I hope our defense is better this
Mhm.
game. But yeah, what do you think about this next game?
Honestly, I'm super scared of like a lot of their players. I'm scared of the Washington dude.
Yeah,
That guy made every shot that it seemed like. I'm scared of Karl Malone, which is EJ Liddell. That guy's scary. Like he just pulls
yeah,
up whenever he likes and makes it. There's this CJ Walker dude. He's like another scary guy that I'm scared about. And I know there's only like 3 players, and then you look at our team and we have a lot of players that can hurt you. But these guys, like I think Dwayne Washington last time put up 30, and then like EJ Liddell put up 20, and then CJ Walker put up 15. That's a lot of points for only 3 players. So I'm very scared of that team. And then I'm like, and then you look at us. I feel like Livers has to start getting going. He can't just be scoring 0 points in the middle of a Big Ten tournament. And if he doesn't score, we are going to lose.
yeah.
And I don't
agree.
trust him to score. I don't trust him to score.
And I do.
And
I believe in him. He's gonna. If he's
okay.
good,
I
he'll
don't
bounce
think. I
back.
think he's injured. I think he's injured or something. But and then because literally, like we imagine if I just don't trust. And then you also have the thing about like the revenge. Also, it just went final. It's like 87-78 in overtime. But you look at like it's just you have the revenge factor too, because we just beat them. We're rivals. We beat them in Columbus. Now they're definitely going to want revenge, especially if it's a rivalry and we beat them in their own arena. They're going to want revenge, and especially if it's a Big Ten tournament, you're playing for a better seed and everything like that. And we almost lost to them anyway. Honestly, they scored them new justice because Dwayne Washington hit every 3 at the end, but that's different. Like I don't. Like, listen, we won this game, okay? We didn't win it comfortably. I know we won by 13. We didn't win it comfortably. You can't expect Mike Smith to score 18 points and 15 assists every single game.
Yeah.
This was probably like one and done thing, right? Wagner had 16 points, which is relatively good. Eli Brooks had 16 points, which is relatively good. Johnny Brown had 10 points. Johnny Brown has to step up too.
Mhm.
Like I know he steps up at big times, but he's not stepping up consistently, right? So, and then you have Livers. Livers needs to score. That's all I gotta say. If Livers doesn't score, we're gonna lose.
I agree. Yeah, if he doesn't do well, but I feel like he'll bounce back. If he's injured, we're in trouble. But
also, I'd like to say one more thing. This helps prove that Livers is injured. He only played 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't think he was in foul. He only had like 1 foul the entire game.
Yeah,
if you're on 15 minutes, it's likely that you're like in restricted minutes, because Wagner played 39, Mike Smith played 37, and Eli Brooks played. Eli Brooks came off a sprained ankle injury.
Yeah,
he had 36 minutes.
To be honest, I rather that Livers gets healthy and he turns back into old Livers than
Mhm.
him like even playing at all this game. If he really, because I agree, if he only played 15 minutes, there's concern there. So,
Mhm.
uh, and I'm pretty sure when do we play? Like 2 days or something? Tomorrow?
We playing tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So I hope he's like fine. Maybe they're saving him or something. I don't know, but we're in trouble if he doesn't do well. And Dickinson really needs to learn not to get into foul trouble because our offense, like you said, kind of revolves around him most of the time. So
Mhm.
uh this game, Mike Smith played incredible. And from what I've heard, I'm pretty sure he carried.
Mhm.
So yeah, real quick, we'll do score predictions. Uh so what do you want to go first or you want me to go
No,
first?
I do not want to go first.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not going first.
Oh, you want me to? Okay.
Okay, actually, can I say one more thing?
Okay.
So Ohio State, right? If you look at this is the only reason I give any hope for. Really they lost to Michigan State. Hold on, actually. They lost to us. They lost to us. They lost to Michigan State. They lost to Iowa, and they
Mhm.
lost to Illinois. They came off a 4-game losing streak, and then they came back and won 2. Minnesota almost did a Tracy McGrady to Ohio State. Like they almost came back in like 13 seconds or whatever. And then they played Purdue. They're not really the strongest of teams. Honestly, I thought Ohio State would be the 4 seed and Purdue would be the 5.
Mhm.
And also I'd like to say one other thing. Purdue has like a Peja Stojakovic type of player. I know I keep making like NBA references, but I'm
Yeah.
not even lying. There's this guy named like Sasha Stevanovic. Okay, he's basically another Peja Stojakovic. Okay, had 0 points and they only won by 9. It took them to overtime. That's the only reason I give hope for, and also the fact that they almost lost to Minnesota
Mhm.
and their competition not really that good. And I also said earlier that Minnesota would be a good team coming into the tournament because they were having a win streak coming in. So maybe maybe it's because we came off a team that actually, it had been coming off a win streak. That's the only hope I'd give. Other than if Liver scores, I'd be pretty confident. If he scores 10 plus and
Yeah.
Dickinson doesn't give him foul trouble, I'll be fine.
All right. Okay. Score predictions real quick.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go 73 to 68 Michigan wins.
I'm gonna go lower scoring more than that because both teams are gonna emphasize defense.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go like 63-58 Michigan.
Yeah, okay. And I agree with you. Livers has to show up. And the reason we both said low scoring is I think defense, yes, they're gonna focus on defense, especially after last game. I have a really big doubt that both teams are gonna be able to score like last game.
Yeah, that was like an NBA game.
Yeah,
That's not happening
yeah,
again.
I don't know. And it didn't even seem like it was bad defense. But it wasn't
It was
good
just really
defense.
good shooting.
Yeah, exactly. So I doubt that happens again, and we'll definitely need livers if that happens. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and make sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Go blue.